Hello everyone! We've designed this course to act as procedures and help our employees here at Brew Together to successfully complete a trade show event. We take our performance at these events very seriously as we are a local coffee shop, and this can help us keep up with the changing market as well as anticipate future changes. Did you know that 77% of executive decision makers found at least one new supplier at the last show they attended? During this video, we will be going through the three parts, pre-show, show, and post-show, and explain the different steps we must take throughout the process to complete a trade show event. If you have been assigned a trade show, it will be your job to overlook all of the activities that must be completed from start to finish. The first part is the pre-show. There are 5 important steps to follow when completing this part. 1. You must set goals and do research for the trade show. 2. Plan your budget. Book your space and decide your displays. 3. Advertise. 4. Establish an intelligence collection plan. 5. Finalize and revise. Now, let's look into each of these steps. Let's start with step 1, setting goals and doing research for the trade show. This task should be done 4 months prior to the event. If you're asked to plan a trade show event, we expect you to provide your manager with a detailed report explaining all of the following elements.
The first element to consider is our strategic needs for this event. What are we trying to accomplish from this trade show? Are we promoting our company? Launching a new product? What is the reason behind our participation in this trade show? What type of trade show do we want to attend? For Brew Together, we always attend local trade shows considering we are a local coffee shop. Who's the audience? You must choose a trade show that best targets the audience that we want to reach. Reputation and scale of business trade show. It is important that we do our research beforehand to make sure the trade show is well known. A trade show that does not have a good name can tarnish our reputation as well. Budgetary constraints. We must make sure that the trade show cost fits in our budget. What is the importance to the competitive intelligence program? Will it provide us with important information that can't be gathered through secondary research? Will it offer us new opportunities?
Let's move on to step 2, planning your budget, booking your space, and deciding your displays. This should be done 3 to 4 months prior to the event. After you received approval from your manager on the detailed report, you will draft a proposal of the following items with approximate costs. This proposal will be divided into 2 parts. Trade show logistics arrangements, which includes hotel bookings and transportation arrangements, as well as ideas for booth space and design, meaning what products we plan to display. Will we have samples? How do we plan on connecting with the attendees? Will we be sharing the story behind our startup or maybe having a giveaway? The third step is to advertise. You must complete this step 3 months prior to the event. The goal is to reach out to prospects and invite them to the event by using all external communication to your advantage, like social media, email newsletters, and more. You can also extend personal invites to your network through calls or emails, invite clients, customers, suppliers, and other contacts to attend the show. Step 4. Establish an intelligence collection plan. This step must be completed 2 months prior to the event. You must set realistic objectives and measurable results. To do this, develop a prioritized list of required data. Figure out which employees will be going to the trade show, for both booth representatives and walk-around representatives. Plan briefing sessions with participants of business trade show and important stakeholders. Establish briefing information sessions to review objectives. Provide training program for employees. The final step is to finalize and revise. The last step should be completed a week to the day before the event. This will be the final briefing session. Review the collection plan and look for any final improvements. Make sure the employees chosen rehearse. Familiarize yourself with the list of schedules of events during the trade show, as well as obtain a finalized list of attendees. Now that you've completed all of the steps for the pre-show, it is now time to attend the show. However, there are multiple elements to consider when at the show. The show will be divided in 3 parts. The first part will be what to do when you're at a booth. The second part, when you're walking around an alley. And the third part will be what to do when you're attending an evening event. Let's start with what do you do when you're at the booth. The behavior of the booth staff is very important. 90% of the positive feelings visitors have are due to the staff. The employees are responsible to draw the customers and engage with them. Make sure every employee wears their badge on the right side. Smile. Most of the time, if you smile, someone will smile back at you. And make sure they don't drink, smoke, or eat their lunch. Remind them that the exhibit is their office away from the office. Visitors see your environment. They see your company and make a judgment as to whether they want to do business with you. If you don't know the answer to a question, say so and use it as an excuse to follow up after the show with the answer when you locate it. Now, your responsibility is to motivate the booth staffers, maybe with prizes that take the highest number of qualified leads. But remember that we want quality and not quantity. Inform the employees about the 80-20 rule. Many exhibitors who are attending their first trade show tend to get nervous when talking to attendees and potential clients. Make sure they listen 80% of the time and only talk 20% of the time. Prepare a short but effective pitch ready to sell your product to the visitors that stop by the booth. And be creative. Make sure your booth stands out by offering promotional items and demonstrations relevant to our product. Now, what to do when you're walking around an alley? Try to gather as much information from the other booths as possible before even talking to them. Questions to think about are, do they pose a threat to our company? What product service are they trying to push at this event? Be subtle when talking with the booth staff. They don't want to give away valuable industry information any more than you do, but you can still learn a lot during the conversation. There will be a variety of different people who will be attending, so take the opportunity to meet and talk with different kinds of people. This could be business owners, customers, suppliers, and more. This is a good chance for us to see what our competitors are doing. We can collect data based on what our competitors are implementing and learn from them. We also have the chance to directly obtain feedback and information from customers while also being able to go around and find out more about the recent demands and changes that customers wish to see. Try to engage with as many people as possible. It is difficult for multiple companies and suppliers to be in the same room at once. Use the opportunity to make connections that may come in handy in the future. Compile an email or contact list or provide pamphlets and business cards to contact them later. The final element is what to do when there's an evening event. Typically, evening events will host some food. That being said, you should avoid eating in large quantities, maintain meal etiquette, don't speak with food in your mouth, avoid consuming too much alcohol. You should eat and drink in moderation to maintain a proper image and reputation. You are representing the company, so what you do will affect us. Please make sure you are following the dress code. If not stated, then business casual is usually a safe option. Make sure to speak with confidence and sell yourself and our company. And remember the purpose of attending. Be mindful of others' time. If you feel like the conversation is coming to a halt, thank them for their time and move on to others. Be active in approaching others. It is an event where you do socialize and discuss. After much hard work and effort that went into the preparation for this event, attendees should focus on making the best out of it. Now let's move on to the post-show. The post-show is divided in 2 steps. The first step is, of course, the follow-up. The biggest mistake that a trade show exhibitor can make is forgetting to follow up after the event. What is the point in building up a pile of leads if you aren't going to send them a follow-up once the show is over? Keep in touch with those potential customers. Did you give them your professional card so that they can contact you after? Did you collect their mail address to send them a thank you letter after the show? Did you ask them if it was okay that they received promotional emails from our company? The 3 follow-up methods that we use is sending an email, using social media, and contacting the customers by phone. When it comes to sending an email, it should be done 1 or 2 days after the end of the show. Remember to enter the trade show name in the title. This will remind customers that they have been to your booth before, and it increases the chances of them opening up your email. The feedback that they usually give us is more intuitive and probably more detailed than you would get in the trade show conversation. Keep your content brief and your language polite. The second method is using social media. This does not only get us in touch with the attendees, but also those that did not get to come to this show. Staying active on social platforms keeps customers interested and engaged. After the end of the show, we can ask participants' feelings through social media accounts and get feedbacks from their comments. And finally, we can get in touch by calling our attendees. The phone doesn't have to be for everyone. We can call the attendees who showed more interest in our booth. Attendees who only show a little interest in the trade show probably wouldn't want to receive a phone call. And the second step to do for post-show is to analyze the data collected and the feedbacks. Identify what were the competitors' booths' strengths and weaknesses, and then compare them to our own. What could we have done better? Also take note on the behavioral differences between our competitors' staff and our own. How did the others act around potential customers? Did they respect the protocol? It is also important to turn gathered information into knowledge. If many of our competitors have done or presented that one thing that we didn't have in our booth, then maybe that's something we should consider doing. To summarize, there are 3 parts to a trade show event: pre-show, show, and post-show, and they all have their own important steps that you must do to successfully complete the event. We hope you found this video useful and that you will now all be ready to take on the task of planning a trade show event for Brew Together. We do realize that with the technology quickly developing, soon our trade show events will be done virtually. We are quickly working on a new video that will give you procedures on what to do if you must complete this task virtually.